Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying on a lot of the new products that I purchased from Walmart. I have so many good things to show you guys and I can't wait to try these products on for you. So before we get started, if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I put out new content. So now let's go ahead and get started with applying the makeup. So I don't have any moisturizer on, I don't have any skincare. I'm actually filming this like later at night. It's around 7:45. So I did wash my face and everything, but I want to put on some moisturizer. I'm gonna go ahead and put on this Good Molecules primer. This is a moisturizing primer. It is silicone free. You can actually use this under your makeup, but today I'm just gonna use it as a moisturizer. Now I'm gonna go in with the Power Grip Primer by e.l.f. I've been testing this primer out. I do like it. I just don't know if I like it better than some of the other primers that I've been trying. So this primer does have some tackiness to it. It helps the foundation adhere to the skin. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Wet n Wild eye primer. This eye primer is nothing new. I just want to use it because I'm using a lot of drugstore products today. It does help with the longevity of my eyeshadow. I'm going to use some new brushes today from Luxie. These are brushes that I actually bought on Costco's website. They had these on special if I'm not mistaken, but there's a lot of eye brushes in here that I'm going to be using. I'm also going to be using the Face Essential brushes from Profusion. Those are some that I purchased at Walmart and I do want to use those today just to check them out. So for eyeshadow today, I'm going to go in with the Milani Gilded Flora palette. These are the shadows. They're so beautiful. I'm going to start with this shade right here, which is called Fresh as a Daisy. And I'm going to actually put that on my lid to just set that primer. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is pretty powdery, but it's setting the primer nicely. It's not skipping on the primer. I'm using this fluffy Luxie brush. I think this is a 206. I'm gonna go into this shade called Best Bud, and I'm just gonna run that on my crease. These Luxie brushes are super soft. I actually purchased Luxie brushes in the past, and I purchased them from Nordstrom, but this time they had them at Costco, and I could not pass that deal up. Hopefully we're gonna do a nice spring look today. This shadow right here, Best Bud, is a matte shadow and it is super powdery. Can you guys tell? It's really powdery. Even though it's really powdery, it's giving off a really pretty pigment and it's blending nicely. I think we're gonna go ahead and go in with Pretty Peony. It's a very pretty bubblegum pink shade and we're just gonna go on top of that other shade. Oh yeah, this is really pretty. It's nice and pigmented. I'm gonna use this shade Orchid right here. This is also a matte shade and I'm just gonna press that on the corner, kind of bringing it into the crease, but not too much, just kind of halfway. What a pretty color. Isn't that pretty? We're gonna take this like flat shader brush. I'm gonna use this shade right here called In Full Bloom. So I'm just gonna press this on the eyelid. It's not coming off as pigmented. It's still a pretty color, but it's not coming off like super pigmented. I'm gonna use the Milani setting spray. This is the Gilded Flora. And I'm just gonna wet my brush just a little bit. And I'm gonna go back into that shade. Maybe I can get a little bit more pigmentation. Oh yeah, so yeah. This is nice. Wetting the brush really makes that color pop. And you know what, guys? I forgot that I was gonna use one of those eye crayons for a base. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this eye with one of those eye crayons from this Flora line. All right, so I put the eyeshadow palette aside and I'm gonna show you the 3 eyeshadow crayons that I picked up from that line. So I'm just gonna swatch these for you guys so you can see how pretty these are. I actually swatched them last night and I thought they were so beautiful. They're gonna be like super pretty to just put like all over the eye and blend them out. So here are the shades that I picked up. So you have one that's like kind of an iridescent, you have one that's kind of a bronzy purple, and then you have like a deep purple kind of plum shade. I think I'm gonna try this one, the bronzy one, on this eye. So I'm just gonna put it on top of the eye. And this is, like I said, a bronzy kind of purple shade. It's not like brown. So pretty. And then what I'm gonna do is take that same shade and I'm just gonna place it on top of that. And as you can see, it does make the shadow pop. And it also gives it kind of like a duochrome look. Wow, I like that. So yeah, you can either wet your brush and have this kind of look, or you can actually add a base, like add any base really. You don't need those cream shadows to do it. You can add any base and it will make this shadow pop. Love the way that looks. Of course, one eye looks a little bit different than the other, but to be honest with you, I'm not going anywhere tonight, so it's okay if it looks different. I really do like the way the shadow went on both eyes. I do want to mention that I don't have the names of these on the eyeshadow stick, so I will list them down below, the shades that I got, but really, these are the only 3 shades that are in that Flora line. So anyway, I wanted to mention that because I didn't tell you what the shade names were, but I will list them down below. So before we get into the foundation, I am going to use the Milani Flora Tinted Lip Balm. I did purchase this along with the other products. I have not tried it, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on. All right, it's not super tinted, but it looks really nice on the lips. It kind of gives like my lips that little flushed look. It does feel really nice and nourishing on the lips. It has like a candy scent to it. Not a floral scent, it's more of like a kind of like a Jolly Rancher. So now we're gonna go ahead and get into foundation. So I want to show you guys the tool that I'm gonna use. I am going to use this Profusion Cactus sponge holder. And then of course the sponge comes inside. I have put water to this sponge so it's nice and soft. I really think I'm gonna like this one. It feels like super soft. So for foundation today, because we're doing a lot of Milani products, I pulled out my Screen Queen foundation. I have 2 shades here. I have the shade 340 and 380. Yeah, 380 and 340. Honestly, I think 380 would work. 340 might be a little bit light, but I'm just gonna mix the 2 and just kind of play around with my own little concoction of both. I haven't used this foundation since probably, I want to say the summer. So I mixed a little bit of the 2 on my sponge, and I'm just gonna kind of tap it into my skin. I put a lot on there, probably like 2 pumps. I think putting both of those together made a good combination for my skin. This is a medium buildable type foundation. It's supposed to have like that blue light technology where, you know, you're always sitting in front of your phone and you get those blue light rays that aren't good for your skin. So it's supposed to protect you against that. Of course, I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape. A little bit on my nose. Of course, gives me a little bit more coverage. All right, so next we're gonna go in with the Good Brow Day Eyebrow Pencil by Profusion. Spoiler alert, I've already tried this. It's really, really good. I have the shade Dark Brown. I love this pencil. It is so super smooth. I can really get in there, do my brows very quickly. It's super creamy, but not too creamy to where it slips. It just feels like it's so easy to apply onto my brows. I just feel like it's a really good product. So I'm gonna go ahead and just fill in my brows really quickly for you guys. And I'm gonna speed through this so we can go ahead and get on with the rest of my face. I am gonna go in with my NYX Bare With Me Concealer. Just gonna tap a little bit on my under eyes. This is a really good concealer, guys. It has great coverage. It's super hydrating on the under eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and take the sponge and press that out. So let me explain something really quick. I feel like this sponge is picking up quite a bit of product. I do feel like it picked up a lot of my concealer. So what I wanna do is go back in with a little bit more concealer and not use this sponge. I'll just use a brush. So yeah, I feel like that sponge picked up quite a bit of concealer, because normally I don't have to go in double with this stuff. I just have to go in once and I'm good to go. So I know it's the sponge, and I also noticed when I was applying my foundation that it felt like it was just kind of like pressing the product into the skin, but not into the skin. It was just pressing it on the surface. So yeah, that sponge isn't really working for me. So I'm just gonna use a brush to put this concealer in. As you can see, it looks better because I think that sponge was just picking up way too much product. I am gonna set my under eyes with my Sephora Microsmooth powder, and I'm gonna use this Profusion flat brush. This is a setting brush for powder, and I'm just gonna use that on my bottom or my under eyes. I like this brush, it's really soft. So for powder today, to set my face, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Camo powder. I really haven't used this powder much because it's a little bit darker than my skin tone. I can get away with it if I'm like tanned in the summer, or even if I self-tan. I'm just gonna use this anyway today because I wanna see how it goes over foundation. This powder really has some beautiful coverage. So I think over foundation it's gonna look really nice. So I'm just gonna press that into my skin. Ooh, I love it as a setting powder. Oh yeah, this looks really good over my foundation. Very nice and smooth. And it doesn't look too dark, you know, on that top of that foundation. I thought it was gonna make the foundation look a little bit darker, but it really doesn't. It doesn't look bad at all. All right, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of e.l.f. bronzer, and I'm gonna use another Profusion brush, and it's the FD1. This is actually a foundation brush, but I'm gonna use it for bronzer today. And I'm also gonna try it with the blush. I love the e.l.f. bronzer. It's so good. It just looks really pretty on the skin. And this brush is doing a good job of placing that product on my skin. Okay guys, so the next product I want to show you guys are the Profusion blushes. Now these are a matte blush, and I've already tried a couple of them. I haven't tried them over makeup. I just kind of tried them on bare skin, and I have to say they are beautiful on bare skin. So if you don't wear a lot of makeup and you just kind of want to get that flush look, I would definitely try these on, you know, your bare skin. They look really pretty and natural. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and try Sangria. I showed you guys in the haul how this product actually looks. It comes with a little sponge applicator, and of course the product is in there, and you can actually shake it up and get the product onto the sponge applicator. Here I already have some on there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to press that like a few dots, just like that. And I'm just gonna go in with the brush and blend it. These are super pigmented, guys, so be very careful. Can you see? I probably didn't even need 3 dots. I can always add some over here, spread it around. I think I put way too much. Let me tone it down a little bit. I'm just gonna go over it with this sponge that I don't like. We're just toning it down a little bit. But as you can see on this side, it looks really pretty. I will say that normally I don't go in just right on the cheek. I usually put on the back of my hand, so I'm gonna do that. And I'm just gonna put like that much on the back. It's like 2 dots. And then what I like to do is take my brush and kind of swirl it in there, kind of mix it all up. And then I like to go onto my cheeks. So I don't know why I did it this way, because honestly, that's not how I do it. I never go straight onto my skin, because I feel like I have a little bit more control putting it on the back of my hand and swirling the brush, warming up the product. These are so pigmented and so beautiful. I'm loving these, guys. They're so good. They are a matte formula. They're not gonna be dewy. They're not gonna be too emollient. They're just like perfect on the skin, just perfectly matte. And they give just that beautiful like flushed look, but with a little bit more pigmentation. And I do find that they don't really pick up product. I really feel like it just looks really good on the skin. I feel like it just blends very well. As I put on quite a bit, we're gonna go ahead and tone it down with the e.l.f. powder and just kind of smooth everything out. So the next product I'm gonna go in with is a Good Brow Day product by Profusion, which is a brow mascara. And I love the brush on this. I have used this already. Now I will say that this is a little bit more of a wet type of product. So what I like to do is just kind of scrape the top of the brush onto the top of the bottle. And then I like to go in just slowly with like some light strokes and put the product into my eyebrows. And you'll see that the product does deposit color. It looks really nice on the brow. I wore this all day today. I tried it for the first time today when I went to work, and I love the way my brows look. I didn't even put on the brow pencil. I just went in straight with this. So this is a good product. If you've got like really beautiful, like nice bushy brows and you want something just with a little bit of tint and you want them to, you know, look nice and put together, I would definitely try this product. But like I said, it is a wet product, so you want to make sure that you go in lightly and you scrape off like the excess. So I do want to try the Wet n Wild translucent powder. I want to try this for this area here, because you guys know I like this area highlighted right under my eyes. I don't usually put it here. I will put it on top of my cheekbones because I like that product, or I like that look to be like lifted. So for that, I'm going to use this Profusion PD8. This is a round powder brush. Guys, these brushes are super soft, and I'm just going to put a little bit of product on there because I wanted to see if this would give me a more highlighted look, because I have the light medium shade and I wanted something a little bit, maybe just a little bit brighter. Yeah, I think this one looks a lot better than the light medium. I feel like it brightens it up a little bit better. Although I'm still gonna keep the light medium because I think the light mediums are really pretty color and really pretty shade for my skin, but I do like this. Now maybe with the light medium, I would use that like in the summer when I'm a little bit darker, because the translucent might be too light, but I think the translucent looks really nice. So another product I picked up was the Soap Brow by e.l.f. I have heard so many good things about this. I also picked up a lash and brow wand. I do want to use this on top of what I already put on. I just want to kind of see how it makes my brows look. Now I don't have much brow, but it's not going to hurt for me to try this with the brows that I do have. So we are going to try it. And basically I just rub the top of my brush onto the brow soap. So I'm going to just brush that into my brows and kind of fluff them up. And yes, it's doing a really nice job of fluffing those brows up. Can y'all tell this one from this one? Kind of lifts them up, and it lifts them up to where they kind of just stay like that. I don't normally wear like very fluffy brows, but I do like a good brow product that kind of keeps my brows in place. It seems like it would do a really good job, especially for the price. I want to use this Revlon Skinlights. This is a bronzer. This is in Sunkissed Beam. I used to have this, guys, but I think what I had was the lighter version, and this is actually the darker of the two. So I'm going to use this brush that I purchased from Japanesque, and this is a multitasker brush. I love the shade of it, so I'm just going to go on top of that blush, just add some bronzer to my skin. Not that I need more bronzer, but I just want to see how this looks. I saw this on VNA Strick's channel. I think it was her channel that I saw it on, and she loves this bronzer. It has a little bit of glow to it. So yeah, I like that. So the last product is this Milani Make It Last Flora Floral Scented Setting Spray. We're gonna go ahead and place this on the skin. For lips, I'm gonna go in with this shade called Blossom by Milani. This is it right here. I haven't tried this shade, so I'm just gonna go over what I have on my lips. I'm not gonna use a liner, guys. Probably should, but I'm too lazy to get one, so I'm just gonna use it without a liner. And this shade's so pretty. Now that I'm looking at it, I probably should have used a liner because I'm a little off. Either way, I think it looks really nice. I love these Milani lipsticks, guys, especially the nude ones. Those are some of my favorites. But these new ones for spring, they are so pretty and they're like perfect for the spring and summer months. So I'm really enjoying these lipsticks. So we're gonna go over these products really quickly. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on them. More or less, I told you throughout the video how I felt about some of the products, but we're gonna go ahead and just do a quick rundown of all the products that I used today. So we're gonna start with these products here for the eyes. I'm obsessed with this palette. I think it's super pretty. I love the eye look that I got from this palette. I think it's so gorgeous. It is perfect for spring, perfect for summer. It's got like some beautiful bright shades in here. I can't wait to try like the more purples, but today I went for more like a pink look, and I do like these as a base, or even like the lighter ones as like a highlight in the center of the eye. I may go ahead and just use this one right now and see how it goes on top of the eyelid with the shadow on. So let's see if I can just draw on there. Ooh, I like this shade. Can you guys tell? Look how pretty that is. It's got like this beautiful iridescence to it. So yeah, so these are super nice on the eyes. They're very creamy. The shadows blended beautifully. I will say there is a lot of kickback with this palette, but if you're like me and all that matters is that it's pigmented, it's blendable, looks beautiful on the eye, then you're not gonna have a problem with the kickback. But yeah, so just to let you know, do your foundation after you do your eyes. That's usually how I try to do it, because I do not like fallout on my foundation, because I feel like I have to start all over again. So for the Profusion sponge, not liking the sponge. I already told you guys, I feel like it just kind of stamped the foundation onto my skin. I don't feel it blended my foundation really well. I will say that I do love the little Cactus container, and I will be keeping this because I think it's like perfect for travel. I definitely think this is perfect for that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep the container. I'm probably gonna throw away the sponge because the sponge is really not worth it. So for the Make It Last Flora Floral Scented Setting Spray, I will say that initially when I sprayed it that day that it wasn't super strong, but guys, once you spray it all over your face, like you're putting a good amount on your face, it is strong. So if you are not used to strong scents, especially strong floral scents, then you're not gonna like this. And I feel like it's a little bit too strong. I do like the Make It Last Setting Spray by Milani, but I think they went a little overboard with the scent on this one. So this is a little bit strong for me. Another thing is the Tinted Lip Balm. I do like this. I think it nourished my lips. I love how my Milani lipstick went on top of this. I do like the scent as well. It smells a little bit like a kind of like a strawberry Jolly Rancher. It feels very comfortable, feels really nice and nourishing. So I am gonna keep this. So for the Good Brow Day products from Profusion, guys, these are so good. I love the creaminess of this eyebrow pencil. It's easy to use. It has good pigmentation. I feel like you can really get in and do those hair-like strokes and fill in your brows really nicely. I also like the waterproof tinted brow gel. This is waterproof. I didn't tell you guys that before, but it is waterproof, and I do like the pigment in this. Like I said, it can be a little wet when you put it on initially. I feel like it just adds too much product on the eyebrow. So this is something that I would say, go ahead and take it out, scrape it, and then go in lightly on your brows. Again, for the Profusion cheek blushes, these blushes are amazing, guys. For the price especially, I think they were like maybe $4.95 each. I think these are just phenomenal. They're so pretty on the cheeks. I love the way they look. I love the pigmentation. I love that they look nice and matte, but not too matte to where they look drying. They don't dry too fast to where you can't blend things out. So yeah, I'm really liking them. Now, like I said, if you're used to going in with the product directly onto your cheek, then go for it. But with me, I have to put it on the back of my hand and then warm it up with a brush and then place it on my cheek. I just feel like I have a little bit more control with the pigmentation when I do that as opposed to when it's dotted on my face. So for the e.l.f. Soap Brow, I do like this product. I'm not one to actually wear my eyebrows straight up, but I do like the product for just like combing them, taming them. I think it's a great product for that. It's a very affordable soap brow product, so I do like that. And this was affordable too. I think this was only like $1. So this is a really good combination. I think that if you have really beautiful, nice bushy brows and you like that look where they stand up, this is going to be perfect for you. But there again, if you are like me and you just like to tame the brow, this is also going to be a good product to try. So I have the Luxie brushes and a mixture of the Profusion brushes. I love Luxie brushes, so I have nothing but good things to say about these brushes. They are super soft. They blend shadow well. They apply shadow well. They apply face product well. I didn't use any of the face brushes, but they do apply any kind of face product very well. I will say that the Profusion brushes work just as good as the Luxie, and they're probably maybe a third of the price. Those Face Essential brushes were amazing. I loved the way they applied the powder, the way they applied the blush, the bronzer. They just did a really good job. I also want to mention the Japanesque brush, the multitasker. This is such a good brush for like applying your bronzer or even applying powder. I really like it for applying bronzer because I think it's like the perfect shape and like size to apply that bronzer all over the face. So really loving this as well. All the brushes, like I said, are super soft, and I'm really impressed with these Profusion brushes. So the last two products I want to mention are the Wet n Wild translucent powder. You guys know I love this powder. I literally have this in every shade and I've used every single one of them. So I really do like this for this area. I feel like it brightens it up really nicely. I think it has some salicylic product in it. So it's supposed to be where it helps with like acne and keeping your like oils at bay. So I do like that about this powder. I do feel like it looks really nice, and this is like one of my new favorites. It really is. It's such a good powder. I do want to mention the Revlon Skinlights. I love this. It looks really pretty on the skin. It gives a nice beautiful glow. It's going to be perfect for the summer. Like I said, I did purchase this before, but I think I purchased the lighter shade and it did look pretty, but I think I like the the darker shade a lot better for my skin tone. This is a really good product. It's not new, but I wanted to show you guys anyways because I did purchase it here recently. So yeah, that's it for me trying these new products that I purchased from Walmart. I hope you enjoyed this spring look that I came up with. And if you did, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Take care, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.